4, 3.
We'll do it live!
Now we're live! Erin Kennedy. The general craziness of it, the impact on your life.
We have gone through so many stories and we said, you know what? This should not be kept to the two of us. Merry Christmas, Megan.
Yeah.
Megan wins the ugly sweater contest.
What do you mean ugly? Now I'm going to let you get a look at this. I'm going to stand up and
Yeah,
I want you to guess why I got this one to see how well you know me.
Oh,
this
goodness.
out, I'm
I
not
didn't know I was
this
going to be put on the spot. Okay, I can see we've got some flamingos.
What
I
about that ugly, ugly, ugly shirt would have resonated with me, Erin?
Geez, Megan, I don't know. I feel very
I don't even think
uncomfortable
this will
right now. I
help
thought
because
we
you
were
can't really
friends.
help.
I thought I knew you, and I don't think I have an answer. Okay, what are you doing?
Hold on. I'm being Megan. Let it happen. Who are they?
Well, I know them. Those are the Golden Girls.
That's right.
Yes.
Doesn't this like channel Golden Girls vibe?
Oh, okay. So that would have required me to have a knowledge of Golden Girls, which I don't.
Oh, God, I forgot you don't.
I want to get you that caftan of the Golden Girls that I showed you. I know. I
my
should have
God,
looked
get
for
it
that,
for
and I
me.
didn't. But as we know, between me and anybody who knows me well, I'm terrible at gifts. Speaking of,
You are
Megan,
the worst. I'm
I
not.
am.
I'm not good either. I don't.
Matt just texted me, do we need this for the kids? For real. He just texted.
A play
One of
tunnel?
those like tunnels.
Oh my God. I mean, I feel like they'd love it. I forget they're little. Mine are big enough they'd get stuck in the tunnel.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm all fuzzy.
Oh, it's like very snowy, like a Christmassy vibe.
All right, I'll fix it.
Fix it.
All
And she's back.
right.
Yeah, guys, literally for my whole of my life, Golden Girls is the best show ever of my life. So when I saw this at Target, I was like, oh.
Okay,
this
Megan, what
too.
is my favorite show? You should know this
No, I do.
because I only make jokes from this one show because
Yeah, but
that's
I
all I
never
watch.
watched it, and I'm forgetting the name. It's the one with the girl with the scar, Tina Fey. What's that show called? I don't remember.
30
Rock.
Rock.
Yes.
Okay,
I
you win.
knew. See how I knew that?
Yeah, we're going to do the Newlyweds game some other time.
This, by the way, is not particularly slimming. I'm going to make note of that. It's a very large.
I'll tell you what, Megan, that would not be on the approved wardrobe list for sure.
Erin? And we're gonna take a look at the. No, I don't know. Yeah, that's not on any kind of approved list.
Well,
of
in some
anything.
places, like maybe campy enough would slide on Christmas.
Where
if
would those
you-
places be?
Huh?
Where?
Nowhere I've ever worked. But I could name a few stations where you'd be allowed to wear that on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, ones who just want to have fun and like be fun.
I've heard of them.
I've never worked for one. You know, that's a thing that's the only, and I mean this, actually, now I'm saying this, that's the only thing that I feel like I missed out on is working for a station who actually just let me be crazy. That never happened for me, which is a bummer because I have a lot of crazy in me that wanted to come out.
And it's because you've never worked at a number one spot, right?
Yeah, no.
Me
Maybe
either.
that says more about me than it should. JK. Wait a second. I think I did. Well, it depends on how you define number one. Because I did
Most
work
people
at
would
a
define
station.
it the same way.
Yeah, but it's like over all shows or just like the 11
Your
o'clock
show.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Nope.
Yeah, still no.
Yeah, no. The answer to that is unfortunately a resounding no.
I've worked at number twos before. So that's kind of similar. Sometimes that's even tougher because then you're
I mean, I've
really
been
gunning for
two
number
a
one.
couple times, but
I interviewed at a station in Salt Lake City with a news director who I really liked. That was one of the only reasons I went to go on the interview.
So yeah,
And
you in Salt Lake. Really?
Well, and this was prior. So this was after Rhode Island.
Ah, okay. Well,
So
that would
like
have
and
been a
I've had a
step
couple
up then,
run-ins.
right? Size-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk
Wait,
about
no.
perfect.
Wait, let me hold on.
Go.
I had a point.
Oh.
So this was by far the far and away number 4 station out of 4. Nobody watching. And so the news director's pitch for that was, well, you can't fall off the floor.
And you're like, wow.
You know, maybe there is
I'm
something to that
tempted.
though, because maybe it wouldn't be stressful. Because then, I mean, you really only can make progress. But you know, I would still find it very stressful.
Look, here's how I feel about all of the moving that happens in TV. I never made a decision based on, and now I should have. My agent talked to me about it many, many times, or like, you're being offered the dominant, a really important spot at the dominant number 1 station. And I'm like, I don't care. Like, it didn't matter to me. More important to me when I was making my decisions was it A, somewhere I wanted to live, and B, what's the salary? Is the salary better at a crappy station? I'll take it anyway. You know what I mean? Usually, unfortunately, like, let's be honest, especially as you're climbing up and the salaries are not giant yet, if you're offered another $20,000, you're probably going to take it, and they know they can get you then that way, in that way, usually. So one thing I want to
that
mention.
working at a number 1 though just allows you a little bit more job security.
Yeah, because they're not going to blame you for the ratings, at least.
Right.
Of all the things that could happen. They won't do that. Now, can we talk about working Christmas morning?
You knew it was going to happen. Anybody who's watched any of our videos knows we're going to complain about that.
That one really hurts.
Christmas morning. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter because I think when I had children, I think I usually was able to beg, borrow, and steal with other people enough that I would work maybe even if it was the 4 days leading up to Christmas straight double shifts. I usually managed to convince somebody to give me Christmas morning off so I could be with the kids. So I don't have that thing, thank God. But it literally took absolute creativity on my part and begging usually. And
So
working way too much in advance to get to it.
We would just ask Santa to come to the house.
Which works because,
On a
you
day
can send him a letter and ask him to come a different time that works. And I think that's good. But to have to ask that of him when he's so busy on the sleigh is very difficult.
Yeah, no, it was. It was very
painful.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you hear can you ever hear that when I say it's going?
What am I supposed to hear?
My cuckoo clock. The one that used to go off live during COVID broadcasts. Right behind me. And I never thought to turn it off and close the batteries out. So the one thing, Erin has worked and had to move Santa Claus delivery time, which is not easy. That's a big ask. And it's hard and painful. And you're still, even though you've solved the issue, it's still really hard. And then for me, it was I would work sometimes couple days, double shifts. Definitely Christmas Eve double shift. That was the thing that I could usually swing. And sometimes it was a couple days leading up to it. But so that meant Christmas Eve, I would get up at 1:00 in the morning and work from 4 to 7, then 7 to 9 for cut-ins, then 11 to 11:30, then take a little break, and then work the 5 to 6:30, and then again 10:00. So that was by the time you're done. Now keep in mind you're missing everything Christmas Eve, which means you're missing all the fun prep leading up to Christmas. Everybody else in the world is off but you. And I would just a lovely, lovely, lovely woman named Alicia used to also have to work Christmas Eve morning, usually only. And she would bring tamales and I would hoard the tamales
Well, everybody would. Yeah.
Yeah. But she would give me extra tamales and I would put them in the little fridge at work because there was nothing to eat on Christmas Eve and no restaurants really were open either. So I would literally eat tamales and a Dr. Pepper out of the vending machine. My little treat was my Dr. Pepper, and watch a movie in between.
Do you know how many times you said literally?
You're just paying attention to it now.
Now that it's Conrad's favorite word. Okay, so I was listening to you, but I was looking for this picture, Megan, because this is one of my favorite pictures in regards to Christmas. This was the only thing that I really loved about working on Christmas night. I know that this is terrible. resolution is because the picture's being taken from a monitor. So this was Lionel, me, and you on Christmas Eve, and we were tracking Santa. And at this point, we were trying to call. Is it
NORAD.
NASA? No, it's not NASA. What is it?
NORAD.
NORAD. Thank you.
Yes.
Trying to call NORAD. And so you were showing us on your phone, and I was taking diligent notes about where Santa was at that moment. And
I was obnoxious with NORAD, Erin.
well,
I would lead every weather hit with that.
but
He's
we
now
were
in Bora
allowed
Bora.
to lean in at this point, and we were allowed to be a little bit goofy because nobody was watching, no managers were working. And then what I do especially love about this photo is it just, to me, it almost shows all the love that we have for each other. I know that that sounds like super cheesy, but just look at Lionel. Like, he's leaning on me. I love it. You know, we're just all roasty, toasty, cozy on the desk there. I
You're
feel like we
letting
were
me
on an
totally
island
geek
by
out.
ourselves. Is that weird? Am I being too sentimental right now?
No, you're not being too sentimental. It is right before Christmas, Erin. These are
Mm,
the things, well, you have to, when you're working and you're like against the grain of the rest of everybody else who's off and enjoying things in the way that they choose, you have to find your little happinesses where you can. And I think that's one big lesson that I take away from TV. And I was not always successful at it, but you can choose if you want to be ticked off, aggravated, miserable, and hard to be around, or
sometimes
just
we
make the
choose
best
that.
out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I've done both.
Right. And so that was fun. I mean, there is something to be said for truly, and I feel this is the same way for working third shift. It is essentially the crucible of most relationships, right?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people who you can get along with at that moment, or at least you're going to know them in their purest form. But it's the same thing for working holidays and then working third shift on holidays. It's just like you come in and you're like, these are my people.
Yeah. And
They
and
get
it
it.
is a family. It
Yeah.
does kind of suck. But it's your family away from your family and the family you didn't choose.
Like your other family. You don't
That's
get to
true.
choose them either.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, there are a couple things that I look back on with fond memories, but thank God I don't have to do it anymore. That's one of them. I was always waiting for that day where I could write it into my contract that I didn't have to work on Christmas, and that day never came. Yeah, because there's always, like, you know, when you're signing a contract and you're moving to a new station, there's always that like moment where they really want you and they're willing to negotiate at least a little bit, and maybe they can't move on the money, but you can try to get some other stuff. Never got that.
Did you ever ask?
Yeah, I asked before, but it's always like there's union things involved, and therein lies the problem, because even if they want to, they can't go against kind of like what the union says is the right thing to do. And of course, we were union, so
So we wanted just to take this episode to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And we have really enjoyed our 2022. We hope that you have as well. And I think, you know, Megan and I are very excited about what's next for next year. We have some great guests lined up already, Megan. I still feel like the treadmill's moving a little bit faster than our legs, but
it is.
I'm very much enjoying too, just having the opportunity to catch up with you every week.
I know. I feel like that is the part that I look forward to the most. And it's funny because like today before we were recording, I was like, oh God, I'm like, both of us were crabby because like, it's just like the time of the year and whatever. But then when we get on, I'm like, this is really fun. So it's one of those things. And you know, I will say, I don't know if you had that feeling when you were on TV too, but I did have that feeling where like most days, but then once you get on, you just go for it. You just turn it on. And I think maybe if that's the one thing I learned from that business is that, you know, faking it sometimes really does get you there.
It's true. It's true.
You know? You got to fake it, but hey, in the end, you've tricked even yourself. So Merry Christmas.
I should look for our other Christmas. We had that great Christmas promo. Remember when we went to that like fake house?
Yes.
And
Man,
we had to say our favorite scene from
while you
The
look
Grinch?
for it. I can't remember. But while you look for it, I will say, like, we always knew we were going to have like a red dress because there was always going to be like a Christmas promo. We usually did that, or like a holiday promo. Think of it as a holiday promo. And that goes, oh my God, that's every station I've ever been in. And those are always fun because it just like, It's gonna be a little bit less serious than everything else because you're just wishing everybody like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever it may be. So that was always kind of fun.
Yeah,
I
I
did
have
enjoy
a
that.
picture of me, but I don't have the promo ahead of me.
Uh, well, I wore this one red dress in one of our promos, which had black on it. You remember that one? Had like
Yeah,
black lace.
yeah, of course.
My mom
Oh,
called
it
me
was
and
your
told me,
Swiss Miss? Your mom called it
nope,
your Swiss
she
Miss
told me
dress?
never to wear it again.
Am I right though? Was it the Swiss Miss dress?
Sure was. And I wore it
I should
again.
wear
I
our
think
new
I
red
even wore
one.
it for a promo. She was probably ready to kill me, but I figured it was like a tight shot. She said I looked like I belonged in a dairy in Switzerland. And my mom is such a sweet woman, but she did not like that dress.
I'm gonna find it because I know I have it at the ready. Just hold on real quick.
I thought I looked good in that dress, but apparently my boobs look too big in that dress. Which sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes it's not.
I don't have it because I didn't put that number in my phone.
Oh, I think I may have it. If you want to continue talking about your best dress ever, Erin, I'll look
My
for
best
it.
dress?
What was your Christmas go-to dress?
This one. This is a dress, even though it looks like a t-shirt. This one, and then I would do my green turtleneck a lot.
Oh, I do recall your green turtleneck. I'm gonna send it to you. Are you ready?
You're
Or
gonna
should I
send it
post
to me? Just
to you?
hold it up to the camera.
Oh, that. Okay. So hold on. Let me Swiss. People, I'm sorry. We are not organized. I've spent all my time not wrapping anything. Have you wrapped anything? I've wrapped nothing.
You're asking me.
Yeah, you've wrapped nothing. Ah,
So there's Megan. You can see the black right in the middle.
yeah. Can you see that? I'm sorry. It's like
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
There's my Swiss Miss dress. I thought I looked great. Mom didn't.
Oh,
Hey,
look,
oh my
I
God.
am. I'm wearing the dress I'm wearing
You're wearing
now.
that, but you had that different necklace on.
Okay,
Let's
it just
see.
went. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, my
so
gold. Yeah, I
behind
do
us
have
are
my
like, and
gold.
then I see Rob over there, my Martinez.
And
Yeah,
Marissa. Yep.
yep. And then that was also like the staff that we worked with. It didn't work for me. Why does it not work for me? See?
Hold it up there. Let it focus on your finger.
Okay.
Now pull it back. There you go.
Did you just see that trick, everyone, that Erin just taught me, which I
Zoop, zoop.
kind of knew but didn't do right? That's seems par for the course.
Goals for 2023, Megan.
Wow, oh my God. Okay. Goals for 2023. By the way, I never liked making resolutions or whatever. They're kind of stupid, but goals for 2023, that feels okay, even though it's technically the same thing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the project I'm working on, which is my day job, I want to have that like just absolutely slay. I'm working hard on that. I would like to be more consistent with my working outing and better with
How
that
often are you
stuff.
getting it in now?
It totally depends on the week. Like some weeks I'll be like so good, and other weeks I'm so busy I don't have time. I just need to be better and more consistent. And I would like us to continue making amazing content. How about yours?
I can deliver on that third, lady.
Good. Let's do
Good.
it. Excellent.
What are my goals? So one of my goals had to do kind of with working out. In all my millions of years of doing CrossFit, I still have never learned how to do a kipping pull-up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like really good at most of that stuff.
That's true. I am good at a lot of the technical
But you can do a
stuff.
strict pull-up?
So that's what always would happen. I would be at a CrossFit place, and when I really got into CrossFit was in Ohio. Shout out to Seatown CrossFit.
So
And the coach there, his rule was you had to be able to do 5 strict before he would teach you kipping.
I still wouldn't be doing a kipping one then.
And so as soon as I could get 5 strict, of course I would get pregnant, and then I would move because that was the pattern of everything. And that is literally what happened at every other box that I went to. I would get pregnant. I would finally start doing strict pull-ups again, and then I would move. And so no.
So you're gonna get your kipping pull-ups.
I'd like to, but now I'm at the point where I feel like I'm old. I'm older now, and part of me is like, Erin, ring rows are good enough. You're old now, just embrace it. And then the other part of me is not wanting to look like a dope flopping around on the rig.
Can you take a video of it though?
No, I
do
cannot.
because I want to see that. Here's the thing I have realized about, first of all, just getting older in general. And I hate to talk about it because clearly we look fabulous. But
You do look fabulous.
JK. But anyway, what I'm going to say here makes sense to you, Erin, and anybody else out there who's about the age where you've got kids who are doing stuff, you're busy, you've got a job, you're managing all the things, your kids are not babies anymore, meaning you are no longer a baby either. Okay. There are certain things that I'm just like not willing to kill myself to do anymore. Like I love CrossFit. I'm going to do CrossFit as well as I can do CrossFit. I am not going to pick up a ridiculously heavy weight where I could hurt myself. And I'm not going to try to do stuff where I'm going to look like a total idiot.
That's
That
where I
being
am with
said,
sleeping.
that being said, there was a box jump over in one of my workouts recently. Okay. So it was like you're supposed to jump up onto the box and then over it. Most of them went well. But
It only takes one.
and when that one happened, I was like, ow! I totally slammed my whole shin. And I kept doing the workout. And at the end, I was like, that still hurts.
Yeah, I mean, that's never a good one.
Oh my God. There was like a 5-inch deep gash.
I
Didn't
still
even
got
bleed
marks on my
because I
leg.
hit it so
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, the boo-boo's still there.
So it's funny you mentioned that because burpee box or box jump overs or burpee box jump overs
Yeah.
are now like, I can't do them. And I'll tell you why. Because now that I'm old, I get the spins. So whenever I do the onto the box and then you jump and go down and then you go back and you spin and you're jumping and you're doing that, I can't. So mine are just like step up, step off.
What about jumping rope, Erin, after having children?
Well, those I still do.
I do too, but do you have to go to the bathroom before you do it?
Oh, of course. Of course. All the moms
so
do.
funny because you can tell who's had kids and who hasn't when it's time to do jump rope because all the women who've had children are like, "Can you get out of the bathroom first? Thank you." This has turned into a very odd Christmas episode.
It really has. Do not give us the reins on creative control. You will regret it.
Downhill real quick. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, because we haven't talked about this lately. Like, what are you eating now? Just out of curiosity. Because usually you do things that I think are a little crazy and I want to hear about it.
I'm going to roll my eyes at myself. I'm eating keto.
Are you? See, Erin's always got like a thing she's doing. Why are you eating keto?
No, that's not fair. It's not always a thing. I was
Sometimes it's a thing.
paleo. I was paleo, and
Yes.
that was enough. And then I feel like if I give myself any wiggle room, I wiggle a lot. And so then to go to keto, which was even more strict than paleo,
It is? It
it's
is.
easier for me to toe the line when that line is like this.
You need a line.
If there's a little bit like this, I'm all over the place.
I just live in that like zone where I'm like, that looks good.
Good enough.
But I should be a better girl. I did have like a really, really strict diet for that little short amount of time. You remember when I did that? I did lose like 15 pounds. That was insane.
Yeah.
And then it all went downhill when I decided that actually there was a pivotal moment. I was looking good and I was back to eating like more regular food and it was still, everything was good. Till I got a large container of those peanut butter pretzels. They were just in my car. And then I may have replaced that container with another one. And then I was all downhill.
Slippery slope. That's what I'm talking about. It's a slippery slope.
Right.
So can I ask, one of the reasons you went on the diet was when you got a couple of viewer comments asking if you were pregnant, right?
I probably blocked it out.
And again, I will only say this because
I think I knew I didn't like.
You were the only human woman in TV news who wasn't wearing Spanx.
I never wore Spanx. I still don't like them. But I'll tell you something, which was interesting, I think, is that like I always knew when I didn't look how I wanted to look. So like if people sent me emails and whatever, I would read them, but then I'd be like, whatever. If I consistently day in, day out would see myself on the air and not like what I was seeing, that's when I would take some action of some sort, and it was never anything crazy, but like, okay, I really need to start working out again, or I really need to get back on, like, it sneaks up on you too, because you see yourself on the air every day, but there comes a moment where you're like, ooh, yeah, this is not good. There are days where you look good or bad. And if they're mixed in with good, you're fine. If they're pretty much all like, oh, I don't want to look at myself, then you got to do something.
Well, and changes to appearance is in your contract.
Yes, it is. Although I mean, we could get into a whole conversation about that. I was never told anything really crazy about weight, thankfully, because I was always pretty okay. I held myself to my own standards, and I think mine were strict enough that I was all right. You know what I
You
mean?
know, I want to have a news director on who can speak to the difficulty of having to address that with somebody.
Oh my God, because you know they have to do it.
How difficult would that be? Yeah. Because it's not like the person doesn't know that already, too, right?
Yeah, they have to know. I mean, you're
I
looking at yourself.
remember one assistant news director who I worked with who there was a woman whose skin all of a sudden got terrible. I think because she switched to birth control or something or whatever. And he had to talk about that with her. That would suck.
Can you imagine? Because she's like so aware of that already anyway.
Of course.
Look at like, what do you tell them then?
I
Like,
don't know.
whatever dermatologist you're going to is not doing enough. We're gonna need to. I mean, what is your action? What are you asking them to do there? I'm sure they're doing it already or trying to. Nobody wants to have horrible skin on TV because it feels awful. And now in like 4D or whatever it is.
Speaking of, okay, you want to talk about my goal for next year?
Are we
Well,
still going on? Okay, yeah.
I want to
We got so
upgrade our
distracted. That's
plan.
good. What?
I want to upgrade our plan on this.
Oh, what can we do?
Because right now we're in 720 and we can go to 1080.
Do we want to?
We got some requests for it, and I don't see why not.
We got requests for
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Like they said, you look fuzzy. Put
No,
better.
they said my fancy schmancy TV allows 1080, and I know you're just doing 720. So
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, look, you're gonna get your kipping pull-ups.
we say goals. I'd call it a soft goal.
I like that though. I think soft goals are more easily achievable.
All right.
I want to
I'm not
change
gonna
the
hold myself to
world.
it.
I could put
Yeah.
that goal on there, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I need to be a good girl. I need to probably stand in front of a camera and look at myself how I used to have to look at myself and go, oh, okay. I don't want to do that, but I mean,
Do you want to share that very mean comment that Lana said to you one time?
which one?
Which one?
She's the one that I can count on for a mean guy. I don't even know which one. What'd she say? Remind me.
She said, "Mom, don't you have a mirror?" But she meant it like sincerely. She wasn't being snide or mean. It was just like,
No, because here's what was happening when I realized like, oh, I don't think I like the way I look that much. I was to take pictures of myself so that I would know where I was and then how I was doing, which is
that's a
very
good motivator.
understandable. Oh, it was a real good motivator. So like I took the picture and I was like, I think I had Lana take the picture for me. And then I was like, oh my God. And she was like, do you not have a mirror? Sorry, I'm not a 10-year-old gymnast.
Right, yeah.
Or 8-year-old at the time or whatever it was. I mean, that's one thing too. Like, I don't know. Kids are mean, man.
But not intentionally.
No, and she meant it. It was a valid question.
So I was walking around the house the other day and Comrade said, "Mom, your butt is difficult."
Why?
I don't know. He makes comments about my butt all the time. Here's another one. So I was a skeleton for Halloween and I just had one of those like zip up skeleton suits. And he goes, "Mom, skeletons don't have butts like that."
I'm trying to figure out the word difficult exactly.
I don't know. I did not want to dive into his meaning behind it.
Wherever he was in that. I had a friend, and this was the funniest. She had a little girl, and her little girl was like, cuddling with her, and it was like this so cute moment and whatever. And she's like, "Mommy, you're the squishiest." And she was like, "Great, thanks." But as we get older, Erin, like I could care less about a lot of the stuff that used to bother me. You know what I mean? And when I get to like think about a new year, I'm just like, cool. I hope everybody stays healthy and I'm happy and I feel fulfilled in my life. Like I feel like, I used to look down on people who felt like how I feel now. Like,
why would you look down on that?
Not look down on that, but like, dude, you can't like let's aim high. You just want to be happy. Like let's take over the world. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, just want to be happy. Maybe taking over the world will make me happy though. So
Not me. Too much responsibility. Thank you very much.
that's true. I'll agree with that.
All
This
right.
is the most random epi ever.
What?
Most random episode ever we've done.
I'm going to call this like Christmas grab bag.
We're grabbing all the things out of the bag.
Which
Got anything else? You got any other random thoughts? We've talked about weight, diets, CrossFit goals, working Christmas,
these
this
goals.
sweater.
We should get better at thumbnails, Megan, and SEO words and key rich words.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
But that's the point. It's like calling this Christmas grab bag. Nobody's going to be searching YouTube for Christmas grab bag.
I mean, I just did yesterday.
Did you really?
No.
Oh. You had me. If so, I would have thought it was like a gift thing. Like,
oh my God. The thing oh. No, we can't.
what are you asking Santa for? What are you doing?
I don't know. But the thing I was going to say that we should do is have Marissa back on and go, if our text string goes back far enough, that we have some of the texts that we used to text each other from the anchor desk to weather, because that would be hysterical.
That would be a fireable offense.
Oh, yeah, that's
That
right.
would violate every part of our NDA.
Would be fun, though.
I know I don't, because I would delete them because I felt they were so saucy that if anybody saw them and they were on a work phone, that whenever we kind of got really crazy, I was like, delete.
Yeah, you're right. I did that too. But we sent each other some really funny memes. I feel like because of you guys, I'm a very good meme selector.
Mm.
Is that a meme or a GIF? Is it
Well,
GIF
we
or
would do
GIF?
both. I say GIF.
Do you say GIF?
Mm-hmm. I know
I
it's
do
supposed to be
too.
GIF. All right.
Oh, well.
I think we have talked the heck out of this Christmas grab bag.
It's dead.
It
was dead about 15 minutes ago.
Thanks to everybody who has stuck with us through this. We should say, though,
we'll be better when the new year comes. We promise.
That'll be our goal. Be better.
Ooh, I'm going to Miami. Should I bring this?
Of course. It has flamingos on it. Of course you should bring it.
Yeah. It's a good look for me.
All right. Did we do it?
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Goodbye.